Welcome back to the Real Estate Reserve podcast. Jason Bale from Hard Money Bankers, co-host Ian Horowitz from Equity Warehouse back in studio. We've got Dave. Looking forward to this episode of the deal that changed my life. You know, if you didn't hear the first episode that we recorded with Dave here a few months ago, definitely check that out. It was great. Dave's tagline was, "I help real estate investors raise private capital." Obviously, it's we dug into that. It was some really, really good stuff. And, one of the things he wanted to leave our audience with after that first episode was how to get 20 accredited investor meetings every month. And he definitely nailed that with some really good tips and tricks by, in essence, using, a platform of your own podcast to do so. So definitely check that out. That was great. Dave, thanks again for hopping on here with us. Do you have a deal that changed your life? Maybe it was a good deal, maybe it was a bad deal, but it was a deal that in essence changed your life.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I for sure. So when I first got into real estate investing way back in the early 2000s, believe it or not, I'd actually lived overseas for almost 14 years, came back to Canada, had to start from scratch, saw one of those late night infomercials, "You too can get rich in real estate with little or no money down." You guys are kind of young. You might not remember those, but yeah,
I remember.
So I sent away Ron LeGrand stuff, got my minivan all decked out with "I buy houses" signs all over the place, and bandit signs and tear tab signs and business cards and all this. It was even before there were really websites, "I buy houses" websites. And I can remember distinctly one day, I'm driving around in my "I buy houses" minivan, fairly new to the game kind of thing. And this lady pulls up behind me, starts honking her horn. And I thought, oh, geez, did I cut her off or something? Like, what happens, right? So I pull over. She jumps out of her car. She's very, very excited. And she comes up to me and she says, I got this house. It's outside of town. I've been trying to sell it for the last 4 or 5 years. It was the dream home, custom home that she and her husband had built from scratch. They lived in it for 6 months. He keeled over, passed away from a heart attack. And then, she was too far away from family. She moved back to where she's originally from. And she had this big, beautiful custom house built that she couldn't sell. Like, it'd been sitting on the market for 4 or 5 years, multiple realtors, all this kind of stuff. So I polished off my training from good old Ron LeGrand and thought, this I didn't have the money, anywhere near the money to buy the house. But I thought this might be a good chance to do an option on the house. So I did an option on her property and basically was able to market the property creatively. In fact, she still had it listed, or she was going to list it with another realtor. So I say, go ahead, list it with the other realtor, exclude me from the listing, and whoever gets it sold faster, great. So I did some creative marketing. Newspapers were still a thing back then, and advertised this thing all over the place and generated some leads. And bottom line, it took me about a month, but I was able to find an end buyer that bought this beautiful custom house, but it was kind of weird. Like, it was like an aqua blue and custom windows. And so it was not everybody's cup of tea, this thing, right? Found the buyer and was able to walk away with 35 grand net profit from that deal, which back in those days, just getting started with that was a life-changing deal for me. Kept the lights on, fed the family, all that kind of stuff, and everything kept going from there.
Yeah, I think it takes one good deal for you to be successful on, and I think that really is what gets people hooked in. Some people have the bumps and bruises on the first one, but you got to find that one deal that you have success on. So I guess from there, were you able just to continue to expand in the same type of fashion and the same type of creative deals, or did you?
Yeah, so my first kind of kick at the can with this, you guys, I did, those creative low money, no money down deals. The city I live in is quite small. There's only about 100,000 people in the area, but I was still able to do like 18 deals in about a year and a half. So about a deal a month doing that. Then I got distracted, got back into the marketing side of things and took a break from real estate for a few years, got back into it, all this kind of back and forth stuff. But yeah, that was the one that made a big difference.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And I know that strategy is really popular again right now. We've had a few guests over the past few months that have been talking about that exact strategy that's become really popular again. So yeah, it's good to hear.
The interesting thing was, you guys, because I'm up here in Canada, right? So Canadians are naturally skeptical. And I had people telling me, there's no way you can do this stuff. It's illegal, right? I had lawyers telling me that stuff. And I had to find the right lawyer who had never done any of this stuff. But he said, hey, yeah, there's no reason why we can't. Let's make it happen. So it can be done all over the world.
Lawyers trying to ruin everything. That's the life lesson here. With that being said, Dave, we appreciate you guys. If you got any value out of this, Dave was really informative on our last episode. So go check that out. And feel free to give him a share because he's been super helpful to our audience. Dave, where's the best place people can find you on the internet? They want to learn more about what you're doing and check out the show from a few months ago.
Yeah, for sure. So check out my podcast, which I had you on a few months ago, Ian. So it's Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. If you're an active real estate investor, I'd love to have you on the show as well. And otherwise, if you're looking to raise, capital with accredited investors, I got a new little book out about that. So it's called 20 accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20 accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
Nice. We'll get all that in the show notes. We appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you having me on as a guest on your show. And guys, we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Reserve Podcast. Do us a favor and like, comment, and share our broadcast. It helps the algorithm and helps us spread the word too. Till next time, thank you for tuning in.